You're listening to the Mastermind Parenting Podcast with Randy Rubenstein, episode 80. My name is Randy Rubenstein, and welcome to the Mastermind Parenting Podcast, where we believe when your thoughts grow, the conversations in your home flow. Well, in this episode, you guys, I just included a clip from one of the coaching calls in my mastermind, and it is about the child that used to be the easy one, used to be, air quotes, the good one, not the strong-willed one, and now all of a sudden is displaying behaviors that aren't so easy. So I coach a mom on this exact situation, and I think this is something common that happens where when you start to notice that your strong-willed child seems to get more cooperative or creative, and just easier in general. Your easier kids, a lot of times, it's like they've been just waiting their turn and holding it in, and then they start acting up. So this seems to be a pretty common issue, and I thought I'd include it on the podcast. So hope you guys like it.
Well, it's attention, right? I would imagine it's all attention-seeking behaviors, like, because I'm going to react if she's doing something to her brother or throwing the napkins all over the floor or running to the back of the van.
So do you react every time, or do you let it go?
I react a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's attention.
Yeah.
So if it's attention, what's the solution?
Well, I guess one would be giving her some more time together, like a few extra minutes, just us, maybe to fill a little void she might be having, or not doing anything about it. Or I do two choices sometimes, which helps a lot in the car. But I mean, there's not two choices when she's like knocking down her brother's beautiful things that he's been making forever. But it's hard to like just not do anything, because like if we're trying to go somewhere,
no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. That's what I say. It's like mastermind parenting is not this power over controlling, fixing, solve. Like, it's this collaborative approach with pack leadership. It's not permissive parenting. It's like when I sat there with Alec and said, "You are absolutely not driving back to Austin." And he knew when he heard that voice, the pack leader has spoken. He knew, right? So that's the thing, is that all those behaviors, it's like, it doesn't feel right to just let that stuff go, because that would be like total permissiveness.
Right.
But she's acting out for attention for a reason. And you're one person, and you've been trying so hard to, really get underneath a lot of the, anxiety and behaviors of her brother. And so there's, it's like we focus. It's funny. Therapists will say, as soon as the identified patient gets to a better place, somebody else becomes the identified patient. And we all notice this with our strong-willed kids, or our kids that kind of were the impetus that caused us to learn this stuff and come take a parenting class. When they get to a better place, always our easier ones start to show certain behaviors, because we've been focusing so much on them. They're like, "Hello, what about me? I'll do the negative attention thing, okay." So I think that's what's going on with Ellie. And so I think this is going to be a pretty easy pattern to disrupt. As far as like that whole, like, I know it can be a stake in our heart of she's having to act out and get negative attention because she's not getting enough positive attention. And that's why I gave you that little explanation, because I don't want you to go to a place of feeling guilty at all, like you haven't been proactive enough or hands-on enough mom. It's that you are one person and you've been very focused on your son, and now it's time to focus on her, and it's a dance, right? It's a dance. Mm-hmm. So, and eventually what they learn is, Mom, I'm so connected with Mom and I'm so connected with Dad that I have confidence. They are my safe place. And when they're giving attention to my sibling, it's cool. I can wait. Like that's what they learn. They will get to that place. And they won't compete with each other. But it's a little bit of a dance when they're little and establishing that foundation.
I'm super excited to dive into today's topic, but before we do, here's a quick word from our sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by the Mastermind Parenting Membership, our exclusive private year-long mastermind. In the mastermind, you're going to find a tribe of smart, determined, and even sometimes slightly rebellious parents who all happen to have at least one strong-willed kid. We dig in, we study our own brains and what's coming up for us when our kids are pushing our buttons. We also learn to see our kids differently and how to speak to them in a way that they can actually hear without the constant fighting and dictator type behavior. We change patterns that have often been in our families for generations. Doors are officially open and we're enrolling for the Mastermind Parenting Membership Fall Cohort Group. So if you're ready to get the coaching, support, training, resources, and accountability you deserve to finally take your family from a state of surviving to thriving, I want you to go to mastermindparenting.com/Lindsay. That's mastermindparenting.com/Lindsay with an EY and book a free call so we can learn more about you and determine whether the mastermind would be a good fit.
So what I would say is right now, I want you to, again, I guess this is the I love you rituals. It was so funny. So I want you to start doing some proactive little tiny things like the I love you rituals with her proactively. Okay. So if you know mealtime is an issue or whatever, then if you see her eating or whatever, I want you just to go down and do like you see her eating, like go, bloop, look at you, sweet girl. Your body was hungry, huh? Tell me, what, it seems like you really like those peas. They yummy? Can I have one? Just engage with her in little tiny ways. The little I love you rituals you can do when her brother's playing quietly and like you've got your 537 things to do. Like notice if she's kind of walking around, wandering aimlessly, looking where she can get some attention, how she can ingratiate herself into his play, which right now the pattern's been through being destructive. That's when you go and you scoop her up and you say, here's a little girl with a sweet little eye. You start to do like a little something and you're like, maybe you want to help me. Maybe mommy could use your help on something. Maybe you could help me. Or you sit down and you draw with her for 5 minutes. You give her a little tiny pet time proactively. Let's start to do that. Okay. When you see her going over to the napkins and you can catch her right before, you're like, there's the napkins. The napkins stay right here on the table. The napkins stay right here in their thing. Nice and neat. Can you count, we're going to have to set the table for 4 people tonight for dinner. Can you count out 4 napkins and we'll put them aside because those will be the ones we're going to use. Like, let's start to turn it into, she's eyeballing the napkins. She's known the napkins is a way she can get a lot of attention. You see her eyeballing those napkins. You go over and do a little detour and you give her some positive attention when it comes to the napkins. You let her be helpful. Almost 3-year-olds, when we give them the opportunity to be helpful, they love to be helpful. So we're going to let her be helpful. You're going to be like, your mom is helpful, girl. This is, you make my life so easy. Like this is when they're little and you take them to the grocery store and you let her help you count out the apples or you bring the apple and she's putting them in the bag and you're like, you're making my life so much easier. This is awesome. We're going to give her a lot of proactive ways to be helpful, to get positive attention, to be included in your world. And when brother's playing and creating and building, engage her in some way that helps her not to go and be so destructive. As far as the car thing, my niece does this too, who's 3. I see her do it where she wants to climb all over the car and do all the things in the car, whatever. And when she's with me, I just do what I always did with my kids, which I always made getting into the car a game. I sang a little song. I say, can you buckle yourself or do you need me to do it? And then the minute she buckles herself, I'm like, you don't even need, what are you going to be driving the car next? How do you even need me around? You're doing my job for me. You can buckle yourself. You're only 3. And then you do the effective praise and she gets to beam with pride and feel a whole sense of accomplishment. And start to sing that song, the song, whatever song, I did like an old Gymboree song. Like as soon as we're going for a ride. We're going for a ride. Do you want to walk to the car by yourself or do you want mommy to carry you? We're going for a ride. Sit right back and buckle up. We're going for a ride. And then you zoom her into her car. Say, you're going to get in the car seat by yourself or do you need me to do it? Now at almost 3, most of the time she's going to go, I do it myself. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to do it. Okay, by all means, you're making this easy on me. Okay. And then you're like, well, what about the buckle? You want to buckle yourself? How about if mommy does the bottom and you do the top? Oh, you want to do the bottom and you want me to do like you're giving her a say in the matter, but you're being the pack leader. You're directing it exactly where you want it to go, just like with the napkins, just like with the car. We're making it fun. We're positive attentioning. See, I like to make up little terms. We're doing the positive attention thing. And we're just helping guide her in a way that is way more helpful and productive.
Hey guys, if you want to close the gap between the parent that you currently are when your kids are pushing your buttons and the parent that you always intended to be, that calm, cool, and collected parent, no matter what's going on around you, I have my recipe for you. I wrote about it in my book, The Parent Gap, and I'd love to give you the free audio version. All you have to do is text the number 44222, that's 44222, and put the message in Mastermind Parenting, that's all one word, all caps, Mastermind Parenting to 44222, and we will send you over a free copy of my audio book, The Parent Gap, ASAP.